Hi there, and welcome to Simple with Sycle. This is our third session this month. I'm coming to you from San Francisco, joined by Brian Jones in our Alabama office. These Simple with Sycle sessions are designed to inform you guys quickly and efficiently on some of the features within Sycle that you might not be using yet, but those features that are designed to make your life in the office easier. Today, we turn our attention to Sycle NOAH Sync. It's a fantastic tool. It allows you to integrate your NOAH with your Sycle. One of the favorite features from our customers that use it. Brian Jones, he is the product expert, product owner of Sycle NOAH Sync, so I'm really pleased to have him joining me today. Today what we're going to do is really review the benefits of the system altogether, and then from there we'll jump right into a demo and see how it actually works, and then at the end we'll discuss how easy it is for everyone out there to get started using it. So Brian, why don't you take a moment, can you just give our viewers sort of a breakdown of the main benefits of NOAH and what they're going to get from this system?
Sure, thanks. So the main benefit of Sycle NOAH Sync is that it consolidates into one source all of your data. Historically, your NOAH database and your patient database were separate, and the need to update them both caused headaches for many people or many offices. So what we did is we've got one database that contains both the patient demographic information as well as the audiological information. The user experience is better, and so the patient experience is better. And so what happens is you get a much more efficient communication between the patient and the user. Of course, that doesn't mean that there are other benefits or less impressive. Being able to travel with a mobile workstation, which has SNS on it, is really nice. As long as you have a network connection and the software installed, you can practically work from anywhere. Another great observation is that you no longer have to worry about the loss of data due to hardware failures. It's one of those situations where if you get a computer with a virus, or if your hard drive crashes or something like that, your history of the patient information could have been wiped out. But with Sycle housing the data, it's secured with the rest of your Sycle data in a data center and backed up with enterprise level solutions. So you don't have to worry about any of that happening, and all of your data is always protected and insured.
Nice, thanks, Brian. So, I mean, as you can see, it's a pretty sweet integration that we've built here. Like I said, it's super popular amongst our users that do engage with it. It's HIMSA certified, so it's known for being a best-in-class solution. It eliminates tons of double entry, protects your data, and just saves you tons of time. So without further ado, why don't we jump in, Brian, and show everybody actually how it works within the system.
Sure.
SNS, or Sycle NOAH Sync, is a desktop application which uses HIMSA's NOAH engine to allow a direct integration between the Sycle user database and the HIMSA NOAH data. Once the application is installed on the user's desktop, it functions much the same way that HIMSA's NOAH system functions, but allows you to keep all the data in one database instead of having to maintain two. There are NOAH buttons in several places, which will allow you to get the patient data to your machine and open the application for usage. These buttons act as the interface to initiate the download of all NOAH data from Sycle into SNS. Once the file is downloaded, the SNS application will extract the session and action data and allow for use with any approved HIMSA module. The buttons are located on the search screen here, in the hearing test section of the patient summary, located here, on the appointment summary, located here, top right of the screen. And there was also one located on the outcome or enter outcome screen of an appointment, here. Let's go ahead and click the NOAH button in the enter outcome screen of an appointment. It will most likely ask if you want to open or save the file, which you will open. This will open a NOAH 4 window that you are somewhat familiar with. Note the ribbon of installed manufacturer modules, as well as the session history and patient's demographic section. The order of the modules in the ribbon can be changed by right-clicking on any module and selecting Arrange Module Order. Then you will simply move the modules to the order of your liking. Remember that up moves the module to the left, and down moves a module to the right. Let's go ahead and enter a module as if we were working with a patient. In this case, we will open NOAH Aud. All HIMSA certified modules are usable and install exactly as they have in the past. The user can then interact with the data in much the same way they always have using NOAH system. Interaction between multiple modules is seamless, so the user can stay within the SNS window to perform all activities. They can perform tests, fittings, tunings, and fine-tunings, and when completed with their tasks, they can simply save and close SNS. Let's quickly create a new hearing test by selecting Audiogram and then New. We can place our threshold points on the graph. Once we have a test, we can save and close the module. But notice we still have NOAA open, which means that even though there is a session listed in session history, it has not yet been saved back to the server. Because the NOAA window is still open, we could go into any other module and continue with any activity that is required. A fitting or fine-tuning, a questionnaire or reporting, or even a manufacturer-specific action. I'll go ahead and close this module as well, but again, if SNS is still open, I haven't yet saved back to the server. The application is designed to work most efficiently if the user uploads all session and action data for one patient in one upload. So if you're going to perform activity in several modules during a sitting, there is no reason to close out of SNS 4 until you are completely done with the patient. Of course, there are some exceptions to this rule. For instance, if you have the testing software and the fitting software on two different machines, you'll need to save the hearing evaluation and close out of the software on the first machine before that test data will be available to use in the fitting software on the second machine. After the data is saved to Sycle, that data is available from any other machine in the same parent company. So now I've completed all the activities with the patient. I'll go ahead and save the record back to Sycle, which is as simple as closing the window. You'll notice a message pop up to let you know that it may take a few minutes. The file is sent via secure connection back to the server, at which time the data is parsed out of the file, applied to the proper session, action, and reporting tables in the database. Normally, the process of sending the data back to the server only takes a few seconds. However, there might be times when it takes longer than 30 seconds to transfer due to a combination of network speed at the time as well as a file size. If you see a message like this, which says data was not submitted within 30 seconds, this is a warning, not an error message. It goes on to explain that it will keep trying in the background. This is most likely not an issue and should not be considered an error. Another common message that might be seen is more recent information for this patient is pending to be uploaded. This means that for the patient in question, the data on the machine is newer than the data in the database. If this happens for a patient once, it's probably not a big deal. If it happens for the patient several times in a row, you'll need to contact your help desk and inform them of this complication. Other than those situations, SNS should be pretty seamless. Just remember that if you leave the SNS window open on your desktop, you have not yet saved the patient's information to the database. So always remember to close out of SNS as soon as you're finished with the current patient. Now, if I click refresh, the data will show up in the appointment. One more thing to note, there are some pretty advanced features that have been developed within Sycle for special circumstances, the most important of which is the ability to reallocate or remove a NOAA session from a user when it was put there accidentally. There have been times where a user gets ahead of themselves and forgets what step he's at. He accidentally forgets to close out of Mr. Jones's SNS data, and when Mr. Smith shows for his test, the user performs the test on Mr. Jones's profile accidentally. The user then needs the immediate ability to repair this error. We have created a solution that allows a user to click on the hearing test section of a patient summary, click View All, click Edit, and then click the Reallocate link next to the hearing test session that is allocated to the patient in error. The link will instantiate a pop-up window which will walk you through reallocating that record to another patient in Sycle. Let's walk through an example of how to reallocate the data. First, we would find the patient on whom the test was saved accidentally. In this case, Brian Jones. Let's search for BJ in all clinics, and we find the patient in question. Then we will go to the hearing test section of Brian's patient summary and click View All. Now we can see that the session from February 24 should belong to Bob Smith. I'll click Reallocate. I believe that Bob Smith's patient ID is 225648, but let's check to be sure. Nope. Patient not found. Let's search using his name, Bob Smith. His ID is 514699. It will now ask me to confirm and then will reallocate based on my response. Now, all of the data that was associated with that session has been moved from Brian Jones to Bob Smith. Of course, there are times where you come upon an accident like this that took place several weeks ago, and you're unsure to whom the test belongs. You're simply sure it doesn't belong to Mr. Jones. In this case, you can remove the session instead of reallocating the session. It should be thought of as a delete and should rarely be used, but by clicking the Remove link, you can totally remove the hearing test from that patient. In both cases, whether you reallocate the data or whether you remove the data, the hearing test and all associated records related to that test are handled as one item so that we don't create any mismatched or orphaned records. Finally, S&S is a fine product that has very few moving parts, but it interacts with a lot of other applications who have lots of moving parts. So there are times where the problems that you are experiencing look to be S&S issues, but could be a Windows problem or a manufacturer module problem or a network problem at the ISP or internet backbone level. It could be a multitude of issues that are hard to identify, and finding the root cause of those issues is sometimes like nailing Jell-O to a wall. But hopefully, those type of issues for you will be few and far between, and your benefits from usage will far outweigh the negatives.
And there you have it. That's really it. Thanks so much, Brian. That was pretty cool. Again, it's eliminating double entry. It's protecting your data. It's saving you tons of time. I mean, it's pretty revolutionary to be able to access that patient NOAA data on any station or switch it and transfer it between offices if you're in the multi-clinic environment. So really, really beneficial features here for everyone. If you're not using Sycle NOAH Sync yet, I really encourage you to get on board. It's super easy to get started. Just email us at sales@sycle.net or call our toll-free number 888-881-7925. And one of the Sycle representatives will be there to help you. And it's important to mention, again, all of that historical NOAA data, we can import that for you so you can hit the ground running. If you have any questions, again, reach out, shoot us an email, or give us a call, and we'd be happy to clarify those for you. But until then, thank you all for joining. Keep your eye open for another invitation coming out soon for next month's session. So again, we do these monthly, just 10 to 15-minute webinars designed to inform you of the benefits of Sycle. And hopefully we'll see more of you there. Thanks so much. Thanks, Brian.
Thanks.